13 rounds and then 14 on Mirage and Dust 2 respectively, but it's all for naught. They have nothing to speak to. They have to get it done here on Nuke to stay alive in the series.
Well, let's see what they're going to be able to do that. At least they do have the CT side, which they've chosen. Going on to Renegade's map pick. And Sterling has the range here with the USP, but Ince has a P250. Moderately inaccurate, but he's just drawn a whole lot of attention, and he might be able to slide his way into Annex through this smoke. There's the contact, but he'll fall to Sterling. Teamed up with Licky, and the push comes in towards the A site for the CTs. They're not going to give him any space to breathe, let alone plant, but it is going to go down. Ali trying to hold here from Squeaky Door, and everything's going right at the moment for ex-Direwolves on the way in. It's up to Ali. Has that flash to play with. APOC going to be the first line isolated fight, but that wrangled defuse is coming the whole way through. APOC with the coverage and a relatively quick round coming out for the Direwolves.
Yep, perfect start. Exactly what they want, but the job is not yet done. It's one thing to get the pistol. The second round in the half is always going to be as important, if not more important, for the CT side, because this is where it all comes unstuck. This is where your economy gets absolutely shot. And you just give Renegades a bunch of free guns. You know, an AUG would be really nice for Renegades to grab that one heading into the third round of this half. But that is all under the proviso that Renegades does win this one. And they've gone for predominantly Galils. They haven't actually lent towards as much utility as I think we would ordinarily see them do. But they have managed to get that wall of smokes down on outer at least.
Yeah, I got that smoke as well, the patch, as well as the molly. So if they can get the whole way down to control, you can just exi on that B site and get the bomb down. And then you've got a huge amount of firepower with all of those Galils. And going down into the halls with SMG, Tech 9 and 3 Galils, close range. This is absolutely perfect. This is where Renegades want to be. But ex-Direwolves, they have something to say about it. APOC. Not going to be jump peeking, but he will have a perfectly timed grenade. Look at the investment, the damage, it's huge. However, he's not going to be able to finish any of them off because Hats has come through.
And the CT's going to find it quite difficult to rotate into the B bomb site now with those mollies down at Megaton. Hazza is eventually going to have to allow the bomb plant to go down, and so it is going to be Ins to just cover from close. Alistar loses a large amount of his HP, and Inz is in a really rough hot spot now, having to battle against multiple angles. Hats drops, and that leaves Alistar, whose position is well and truly known, but if he does manage to get a little tap on the Licky, who's defusing the bomb, the round could be over. He bides his time. He gets it done. The headshot was enough. The defuse is cancelled, and Sterling has no kit. Neither did the rest of the Direwolves. And that is the round for Renegades. It hurts so much for the CT side. Sterling at least saves the AUG, so that one is not given over to Renegades, but oh dear. It's Mirage all over again.
Someone in the death cam had to have spotted that neither of them had a kit, because Ali, he waited a good 6 seconds or so before actually going for the swing and then hit the one bullet needed. That was so damn crucial, and that goes back to the quality of a player that Ali is. All of that knowledge just culminating to clutch around like that. It's huge for the T side, and now they've set themselves up for success. Ex-Direwolves, though, have a look at this. They've gone for the force buy back around those rifles.
As you would, I suppose. It's the same mentality that we saw on Mirage. You can't let Renegades wrestle control of this map away from you. And similarly, I think it's the same concept for Renegades. They just want to really stamp their mark, make the statement at the start of Nuke here. And they are doing a good job of that, winning that last round. They've obviously got an advantage in this one. Not really trying to go too fast at all.
I think now it's a good time to point out as well that Malta's got no skin on this Mac 10. Licky's got no skin on this 5.7. And you better believe that these boys have skins. So because we're playing on an old patch, the skins aren't in the game yet. So it just gives you the old default skin instead. By the way, dripping up over towards Trophy, and Haz is going to take one of his own. Evening things up to the 4-on-4, and Renegades off the back of that contact just dry swing all the way to Secret, unspotted, but surely heard by Licky.
I'm glad you're thinking about the important things in this series, Mac.
Yeah. Look, APOC, another unskinned Famis. Let's see if this has some impact.
Well, he's heard a lot of footsteps. They're going to know exactly where Renegades is, and they're going to set themselves up to try and defend this B bomb site. Renegades doesn't have a lot of time to get in and plant the bomb, but they're not going to be. They're going away. Licky with a 5-7. Oh, such a wonderful gun at close range. It gets 2. And Alistair's going to have to plant that bomb. Hazard makes the drop. He's been hurt, but Alistair can't get off the defuse quickly enough, or the plant quickly enough to save Sicko. It doesn't matter. The round's over. Renegades. They lose one. And we're back to square one again. Renegades will force buy into this one, see what they can get done. AK was taken through for Alistair at least, but ex-Direwolves, I mean, they're not giving up just yet.
Look, the only reason I went on the tangent there, Jordan, is because I saw Malta inspecting his skin. And no one inspects default skins. Look, it's just a commonly known fact. Either way, up the ladder we go. Heavy stack towards the A side, expecting Renegades to maybe go for a rush in this direction, but it hasn't happened.
Yeah, no rushing to be seen so far from Renegades. They have been quite reserved so far on this T side. I'm sure we're going to see them flex their muscles a little bit more as we get deeper and deeper into the half. Alistair would have really loved to have gotten a bit of work done with that AK, but he can't. Hero AK, always a pretty good prospect, but it seems like ex-Direwolves are negotiating this one quite all right.
Yeah, I think Licky's pretty lucky to be alive on 2 HP there. But again, just drawing a world of attention for APOC to strike from Secret. Speaking of striking, Malta lights a match on Savage's head. Doesn't hard commit. Goes up that T. What? I'm speechless. All right, Malta's having a day today.
He might not have had enough of a day to win the round, though. Licky, 2 HP, but he's still getting a huge amount of info. He knows Renegades is heading towards outer. He's still creeping behind them. You won't expect him to get too much done at this range with an MP9, and he's going to be a bit too slow to fire any shots anyway, but at least APOC knows what is headed in his direction. And it'll have to be a clean couple of shots from Inns here. It looks like he's got it. Megaton, the peak from Sterling, though, to trade. And Inns is left to do it all on his lonesome. If he can get Sterling, Licky might be a freebie, but he's run out of time. And so he's going to have to get out of there. Oh, that's almost disaster for Renegades, but they're okay.
Well, at least he's got some armor and that deagle to play around. I was just about to highlight why Inns is the GOAT as well. The angle isolation on that entry, you know, just clearing Mega, then going to Dark, and not once stepping foot out onto the site for APOC to swing on him. Then clearing APOC from that position without being open to Mega. Just knows so much about those entry routes on the map. But then, unfortunately, couldn't find the bomb, and things just went south from there. Well, Renegades on the Glocks. What are they going to be able to do, if anything?
Nothing. At least not for Malta. He had such a nice round in the previous, but has it on lockdown at the moment. He's also being covered off by his teammate. And so the crossfire established at ramp is eventually going to slow down anything that Renegades was hoping to achieve. It's been a bit of a weird start to the map, hasn't it? But it is a 4-1 scoreline now for Direwolves, or will be. So that's a pretty good start. Money on the CT side is not great, but after this round, it should be pretty solid.
Let's see if Ali can finish off Savage here. It'll be a nice little chip away at the economy if he can, but Savage, nice and patient, just waiting for the swing out. And there's Licky up on HUD as well. But it looks like Sterling may be on the perfect line. Spots the barrel of the Glock and will follow suit. There it is, 3-round lead, 2 ex-Direwolves. Very clean anti-eco up against the Glocks. And Renegades, after 5 rounds, are finally going to find themselves a couple of AKs. And Ince doesn't even have that because he died after time a couple of rounds ago.
Tech9 still can get work done, especially on a map like this. Send him into the A bomb site. actually doesn't even need to be on the A-bomb site. On and the match against Order, we saw him getting a bit of work done at longer range angles with the Tech 9. So send him out. That's fine. I don't care. He's going to do it. Oh, it almost happened.
Yeah. Man's a magician with any weapon in his hand. And oh, it's a dangerous game that Savage is playing, and he's not going to come out the victor this time. Ex-Direwolves looking to get a bit more aggressive, play close range with these SMGs. Licky still controlling Hut now after losing a teammate. He knows that Ali's just around the corner with that wall spam coming through. And it's all up to him to try to lock it down ramp. Renegades grouping up towards Trophy and maybe looking just to trade out at this position, or at least contact ramp and then maybe go through doors. We saw him do that before. Insta flash, and Hazard finds one. Didn't spot the second man crossing, but I believe he's hurt him.
Malta's going to try and creep out onto the A-bomb site, and that's not going to work at all. Ex-Direwolves again with the numbers advantage, and they're just doubling down, aren't they? They're continuing to sink the boot into Renegades on this CT side. It's exactly the kind of start you need to see from ex-Direwolves if they're going to force this one through to a 5th map. Starts to get a little bit costly with that kill from Alistair, though. While you don't expect this round to go the way of Renegades, it is at least going to keep Direwolves honest.
And there you have it. Solid hold coming out from Hazard. From ramp, kicking things off over there and then getting another one to finish. That's squeaky, but you could see with no rotation down lowers, no fret, no fear. Hazard picks up one and drops, and there's absolutely no rotation from those A-site players. So they're doing their homework. They're expecting that late walkout door from Renegades, and they were rewarded for doing a little bit of homework. Now, what do we see here? Well, the smoke's going to be lined up from spawn. Renegades maybe just trying to sneak their way down outers, or at least just denying vision, denying information towards the outers players.
Well, it's a big wall of smokes on outer, but Renegades are not putting it to use, at least not in the traditional sense. Bit of counter utility out from ex-Direwolves there. Hanging on to their utility quite nicely, though. Renegades is not doing enough to really pressure them at the moment. This is looking like it's just going to be a bust out into the A-bomb site, but one flash for Inns to play with.
Oh,
Not sure how much of advantage that's really going to be. It's not even the flash really that's required. You say timing, that's exactly what has favored Renegades. 2 kills there on the entry, but they haven't dealt with Savage just yet. Alistair gets rid of him. We're back to 2-on-2. Molotov's going to go down. That'll deny the bomb plant. Hazard should clean it up from here. Ali doesn't know where Ali is. He's got no idea. And Sterling, oh, he didn't spot him either. No, that was too close. 56 HP for Hazard. I mean, Renegades don't win the round, but bloody hell, they get as much as they could have out of that one. I said give them an inch, take a mile after that last map, and that is a perfect example of it. 4 guns taken away by pretty much nothing from Renegades. Money, I mean, it's actually still okay for the CT side, but wow.
I need to... I wish I could run it back and check, but I think there was some kind of util thrown towards outers from the top of T-Roof that just barely pulled Savage off that hut line. And you can see the timing of the push as Savage rotated off was exactly when they started running in. So Renegades just outbraining ex-Direwolves. Unfortunately for them, they couldn't out-aim them this time. A huge financial damage to the CT's economy, though. And we'll definitely chip away at those bank accounts. Have a look at this. If Renegades can win this round, all of a sudden, the half can get turned on its head. Renegades, I can really shift the odds, shift the financial advantage.
All right, we have a technical pause coming through from the Renegades. They've been having a few tech issues tonight. This time it's not actually internet related. It's just something to do with the game. 6-1 though. I mean, you better hope there's some tech issues right now for Renegades, because they want to find an explanation for what's happening so far on Nuke. Ex-Direwolves back to their winning ways. Hopefully it's going to last long enough though, Mac. I mean, this is the fallback for me. This is the problem. Like, we've seen strings of rounds for ex-Direwolves throughout this series so far. We've seen some really good stuff from them. But when push comes to shove, when the chips are down, Renegades is that team that's going to do enough in this first half and then just dominate the second half. Something like that. And it's going to leave ex-Direwolves with a really bitter pill in their mouth, a bitter taste that they've been so close on 3 maps and they haven't really managed to get any of them. That's what I think is going to happen. That's my expectation. That's what we've seen time and time and time and time again from Renegades.
Yeah. Are we going to see it one more time, though? Are they going to do it here on Nuke? That's the real question. And looks like we are A-OK back into the game. Ali's got the big green in hand, and having a quick look at the spawns. I don't think he's got that front spawn. It's going to be ins, but he's gone outers, so nothing crazy going to be happening. At the start of the round, Renegades just lining up these outer smokes and waiting for any early utility to be thrown from the CT's APOC. What a position to be standing up on Big Blue. All the smokes patched as well by Inst on the lurk and staying close there to Annex. Not going to be spotted by APOC, just up in the open.
He will in a second. Oh, no, not. Apparently, he's managed to absolutely swindle them. I thought there was a hole in the smoke. Apparently not.
Well, there was, but I think APOC just looked over the top away from it at the wrong moment. Now in comes that fast as Inst is on the lurk in a position to come in on the flank, but he might not even need to. All this work being done by the players pushing out Molly towards heaven.
Oh, it's the first time that Renegades have actually really taken some sizable map control and hit the bomb site and completely bamboozled ex-Direwolves. Yes, there was some good trades in there, to be fair, from the CTs. But it looked like Renegades was going to win that round from the outset as soon as you saw Inns get into Warehouse for free and start firing at that Annex player. It just seemed like it was down the toilet for ex-Direwolves. You're going to save the guns. The money's still pretty awkward, and that's by virtue of all of the hard work Renegades have been doing in a lot of these rounds. They've got so close in a few of them. Really been taking the guns away from the CT side. So it's actually not as bad as it looks for Renegades right now. It's going to go to 6-2, and they win the next round. That goes to 6-3. Pretty quickly, it's going to be 6-4, and they're kind of right back into it.
Just over and over. Getting away with absolute murder. Joshua Inns Potter. The thief, the criminal. Just snatching away kills. Stealing hearts. And ruining interviews, as we saw yesterday. But he's pretty good at Counter-Strike, isn't he? And since he's been lurking up an absolute storm lately, he's been putting up the numbers, although he's been doing that for ages, pumping numbers. Well, another quick tactical coming out from ex-Direwolves, just deciding on what they need to do. How the hell Inst managed to find that timing in towards Warehouse and just delete any chance of a retake that ex-Direwolves had. And Renegades looking to make their way back into the game and have a relatively strong half. Their economy definitely favoring them this round, and it looks like we haven't seen a force around a couple of rifles. Just looking to buy into the next for ex-Direwolves and hoping that these 2 weapons saved can be positioned to have some huge impact.
The AWP certainly can do it. I mean, it's the 2 players you probably want it on as well. I guess maybe not necessarily in this series. I guess Savage is definitely a good name to throw in there, but hey, maybe a P250 for APOC. That's all he really needs, I suppose. He takes out Inns, who has been collectively known as one of the best players in the ANZ region, maybe the #1 player in the ANZ region, with a P250. That's it. That's all he needs. So,
okay. Oh, but Ali's going to be clearing CT. He's looking into secret at the moment and seems to be aware of that rotation. Not sure if that tick from the molly was heard. Either way, Ali spots some info, and there he is, striking back. Renegade's chances in the round. And there's numbers. Looks like they're going to tried 100% it. I thought he was going to throw that AK away, but it looks like he's decided to go for the sneaky silent option. But where to from here for Renegades?
Yeah, they're sort of milling about a little bit on outer, aren't they? Just figuring out what they want to be doing. It looks like it'll be in towards A through Annex. Sterling to defend with the AWP in hand. This could be a massive round for ex-Direwolves. He started well, but Malta has just crept up a little bit too close, and it's an awkward angle to fight from for Sterling. 3-on-3, bomb plant being covered off by Malta, but they're not aware of the hut peak, and that is going to be the swing. Timing is nice for the CT side. Alistair can't get it done, and ex-Direwolves will pull off another one. How do they continue to keep getting these rounds? I do not know. Renegades will be disappointed with that.
I don't know either. But ex-Direwolves really have something special in the tank tonight. They've been playing good all week. They've had a bit of an unlucky start on those first 2 maps, although playing their damn hearts out. And finally, might be able to find a advantage in the first half, because they haven't had that in the last 2 maps, you know? Just getting that momentum and carrying it across into the second half will be so damn crucial and might just be that edge they need. But speaking of what they need 1 or 2 more rounds to get that momentum to begin with. Very solid start from a couple of the players. But again, here's that buy from both sides, and the economy could be ruined for Renegades.
Oh, that is not the start that Renegades wants either. They've been consistently losing the initial frag in a lot of these rounds. And it's not a case of what we saw on Mirage, where they've been able to bring it back 4-on-5 or 3-on-5 or 2-on-5, God forbid. ex-Direwolves have been much better at closing out the advantages that they've had. Sterling, however, smoke's not going to fade favorably for him. He wasn't watching anyway. And Hats pegs it back. Now, again, warehouse control for Renegades, and that was a key to their success in a previous round, but it was an unawares ex-Direwolves that time. Now, they've got the information, at least, that Hats is there.
And this is just a rough position to be an Annex player as well. APOC, however, smoked off. So that crossfire you saw from Warehouse, from Squeaky, Renegades just decide to fall away from that position instead. Looks like they've already got Hazard down on lowers, just giving full ramp control. And with this flank coming in towards A, ex-Direwolves could be in trouble. But let's see what they decide to do. And if they can hit the shots necessary. Bomb's actually been left behind with 30 seconds. Let's see if that's a factor.
Ooh, it could be. Savage just managed to walk his way into lobby. Sicko trying to take that challenge, but will he be aware of Licky round the corner? Needs the trade and gets it. 20 seconds left, Mac. Hazard could still make the hero play for his side here. Lots of footsteps being made. Inns watching the fence, but he's low on HP, and that is massive. Sicko, he's going to have to take the challenge. No, never mind. Hats covered it. Oh, that was a dangerous moment there. If Hazard gets the kill as he comes up the vent, just drops back down, Hats can't get the trade. Renegades, by the skin of their teeth, have a third, but these rounds are just so tight.
We saw Inns getting a bit more lucky than Hazard did on that ladder yesterday, didn't he? I think a 3K on the ladder and then a 4th after jumping off. Man, absolutely abusing the RNG factor.
He was having a good time.
Well, what are we going to see? Renegades speeding things up at Outers. All the smokes comes through. Nade 2. And off the back of it, APOC seems to be aware of the push through lowers. I believe he's heard a footstep. But no big rotations coming through from the CTs. They're just dominating upper. And maybe just looking to retake lower.
Double nade down the stairs, not going to collect anyone on ex-Direwolves. They've taken control of vents quite quickly, and Malta gets spotted out by APOC. But he also saw the man just before the swing came through. It went the way of Malta. That's big. Denies a lot of the rotations, and with the kill going down on the B bomb site, Renegades take full control of said bomb site. ex-Direwolves will opt to save. They've been managing their economy pretty well so far in this half, ex-Direwolves. I don't remember that they've had to really take too many ecos. Helps, I suppose, when you win one of them.
Very true. Well,
7-4 though. It's starting to get a little bit more well-rounded for Renegades. You know, it's not as one-sided. It's not looking like a complete whitewash in this first half, and it sort of reminds me of what we were seeing in that first map where Renegades started to come back into it a little bit, and then slowly but surely you go, okay, well, actually Renegades is on top now, so we're not at that point just yet. But 7-4, it's the building platform for them.
Well, the most amount of rounds rather that Renegades has lost on Nuke in recent history is 8, and before that, they haven't lost it for a damn while. So, ex-Direwolves already in a very solid position to change those statistics. If they can just get 1 or 2 more, they'll be in a very good position to succeed. Just silent push behind the deep wall of smokes, not going for the L smokes this time. Ooh.
All right, looks like we have a tech pause coming through for Renegades. I think the round has been stopped.
Yeah.
Obviously no damage done in that round, so that's fair enough. It was quite late in the round, actually, by all things. But yeah, when no damage is done, that's fine, fair enough. PC froze, so Inns disconnects from the server, and we will just have to wait for him to get back in.
Yeah, very good. Glad that one was caught. You had those tech issues happening after damage is done, so good to see that we're going to get that one match medicked. Although, you know, it makes you think, okay, strat's been seen.
Yep.
Can they do the same thing? Are they going to do something different? Mind games start to begin.
Well,
is there going to be a molly at outers to put a gap in those smokes, to give in for many, many factors? And, you know, that's why these guys are professionals. Let's see what happens once we do get back in. It's not going to take too long. Just a simple reset, I think.
It's always one of the discussion points in a time like this, isn't it? It's always interesting to think, you know, do you do the exact same strat because they expect that you'll change your strat because they already know your strat, or do you change your strat because you expect that they expect? And it's all a bit of a mind game. It kind of goes around in circles. I don't think it's necessarily worth overthinking in a situation like that, to be honest, because you're never going to really know what your opponent is thinking. So you kind of just have to make a decision and run with it, hope for the best, and see how you go. 7-4 though, I mean, it is actually a really critical round. We're sort of on that teetering point of the half where if ex-Direwolves win this, they're back in control. They can continue to try and dominate the half, look for double digits, and really have a solid start to the map. But for Renegades, if they do pick this round up, which we are now heading into, so quick pause is a good pause, then they're really actually starting to claw back some control of their own. And it's not exactly the greatest of buys here for ex-Direwolves, so...
No. Okay, well, let's see how this round goes. As expected, Renegades just going for a different strat, at least in the early round. Not coming in those smokes to outers. I didn't actually spot if we got to see a molly from the CTs or not. And has his nade just not quite hitting the mark there towards Trophy. So very slow approach from Renegades, and it looks like we are going to see this wall, but at the minute mark instead. Oh, well, smokes
down
too.
Effectively. Molly's going to go into secret, but no one from Direwolves too concerned about that one for now. Renegades are using this more of a fake than anything else. Here comes the push into the A-bomb site. Licky defending with a 5-7. Shots connected by Renegades. Not quite as many by ex-Direwolves as they might have liked there. And Renegades actually get into the bomb site with a 3-for-1 trade overall. Could have been much worse. Bomb plant goes down. So mission successful for the T side.
Well, two of the big fraggers at the moment for ex-Direwolves are Hazard and Sterling, and there's still maybe a chance in the round. Sterling just going passive and the M4 retrieved. Oh, Hazard, one more tick and he was out of the equation. But for now, it is just that full save called. And you have to feel for Savage just playing from up on top of default there, up on top of those silos. It's just so hard to spray an M4 downwards. When the T's are just running underneath you, it's so hard to just track in that position. So couldn't get the damage out early enough. Those flashes through the skylights were very, very important for Renegades to just create that much distance and allow them so far out of hut and really put themselves in a position to win. And speaking of winning, that's another on the board for Renegades. 7-5 now. And really starting to gain that momentum towards the end of the half and might even be on for 8. Let's see how it goes.
It's looking a bit rough now for Direwolves. Renegades starting to find their mojo on this T side. Maybe they've figured out what the setups are like for the CTs.
Yeah.
Faster play though. This is a big change up from ex-Direwolves. APOC has been found out. Enough of a spam. Good fundamentals in the end there from Renegades, and they won't fall prey to a little bit of a sneaky beaky play.
Okay, aggro set up towards door, towards annex there for the CTs as well. So maybe that drop was heard. And that's some info on the potential repositioning from Renegades. Hazza still has this M4 to play with at ramp. And he's over towards elbow too, so able to fall off. Oh no, he's not. He's actually waiting for this rapid out as offline works for one and not quite the second. Swing comes in and Renegades trade it through. So numbers maintained, but don't commit to the lowest hit just yet. Licky's gone down, which weakens the A site. Savage crouches, but just barely misses the 1B.
This is what Renegades are so good at doing. Slowing down the play when they get the advantage, not giving anything away.
Yeah.
Bit unlucky there for Sterling. I don't know that it would have changed the round all that much, though. It still would have been a 3-on-2 with the bomb going down on A. Yes, Alistair would have lost the AWP, but Renegades probably would have still picked the round up from there. So they maintain their charge. Inz is going to go on a bit of a search here to see if he can find the AWP up. Won't see too much. Hats and Sicko playing the buddy system as well, but that 5-7 continues to be put to good use by Licky. I do love that weapon.
Yeah, well, get ready for the resurgence of it in the coming patch, or the patch that just happened, etc. Either way, keen to see some more 5-7 gameplay. Sterling, missed opportunity, but position now known. Spots the swing, but Ince is feeling it now. Try to close things off. Almost falls to the bomb, getting very risky with it over towards Hell. And Licky will survive to keep the AK in play going into round 14. So, money's there for ex-Direwolves, and the buy will come through again. There's a chance for them to make it, you know, a 9-6 half, but they really need to get all motors firing right now.
I mean, there's every chance at the moment that Renegades gets it to 8-7. That, to me, seems like the more likely option. Again, just a bit of presence put towards outer from Renegades. The smokes go down. They've done this a lot. It doesn't really tell ex-Direwolves a whole lot, I don't think, but it's going to prop the rotation down into the bottom side of the map. Licky will try to defend from Annex, but a 1-for-1 is probably not quite enough to win the round just yet for ex-Direwolves. APOC picks the pace up through Secret, but he is once again dispatched of. Oh, it's just fighting all over the place. Hats is playing trade. I mean, that's literally all he's done this round. He's playing the trade game. Someone dies, he's like, all right, I guess I gotta kill here. But they don't know where Savage is. Sicko pre-fired the corner, but couldn't win the duel. And once again, we turn our eyes towards Hats. Needs the ace in this round to give it to Renegades.
Ooh. Unfortunately, blinds himself on the swing and doesn't connect the flash onto Sterling. So won't be able to get across the line. CT's close and ready to swing off the contact, ready to trade. I believe Hats did have, you know, the element of surprise, but after throwing that molly, just gave away his position. So ex-Direwolves doing a good job to stay close, restructure, get ready to 100% the round. And into the final round we go. And now, ex-Direwolves finally taking the majority in a first half this series. Sterling is peeking in through the door early. Renegades came knocking and he sent them away, but Malta might just want a little bit more. Whole lot of noise being made, and I don't think Hats has been heard dropping onto Annex. So we'll see if this position's crucial. Oh, spam through and Licky. Not going to survive that one.
That's really unfortunate for ex-Direwolves. They were looking like maybe they would just put in the hard yards right at the end of the half, make it 9-6, which would be a pretty solid scoreline. Maybe not what they had hoped for based on the start, but still something to work with. And now Renegades squarely sit in the favorable position for the final round of the half, looking to make it to 7. 7 on T-side Nuke. Definitely ain't bad. Again, just considering the way that the half started, Renegades would probably be happy with 6, to be honest.
Oh, look at that, Ali. Just starting to try to sell that fake over towards the A-side. Hats as well, making some noise, and Hazard peaks, but this time Sicko is ready. Haircuts coming through for free as Hats as well flicks around, but again, another bink for bink scenario. AK reigns supreme. Sterling on the flank, able to trade, but a 2v4. It's a big ask, and Sicko on the ladder goes down.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate on the timing there for him. 20 HP for Savage. That's the ladder inaccuracy playing a part. But Alice is getting the bomb down on the B bomb site, and so all things considered, not a bad result for Renegades, especially with that kill from Malta onto Savage. And Sterling tasked with a 1-on-3. He's got no chance there at all. 8-7 is the scoreline. Renegades save the half, and they turn their attention to finishing off the series.
I left you in the morning, and I didn't know if I would ever see you again, 'cause I didn't get your number. So I left you sleeping, put a written note on your bed. But you're really under my skin. I don't know where to begin. I wish I could go back to yesterday. Underneath the sheets again, keep on replaying the night with you. Underneath the sheets I wonder, will you call me? My mind is going in circles, can't stop thinking of you. When the feeling isn't going, I'm looking for distraction, nothing's getting me through. When you're really under my skin. I don't know where to begin. I wish I could go back to yesterday. Underneath the sheets again, keep on replaying.
First half was looking good for ex-Direwolves, but again, Renegades just able to bring it back into something that resembles a pretty solid scoreline on both sides, to be fair. But the way that the half started, you would look at it and say ex-Direwolves probably wanted a little bit more. They probably wanted at least 9, maybe 10. get to double digits if they were lucky. Not the case. Now they have to get it done on the T side to stay alive in this grand final and still give themselves a chance to get over to that ESL Pro League conference. They've done well to get into ramp room quite quickly there and force the player down into the B-bomb side. So already some good map control established for ex-Direwolves. Malta, though, is looking for some of his own, the push and pull gameplay, and Malta steps up with a USP. Double kill to start off the pistol round. Oh, never mind, it's a triple.
Well, he's fallen back and he's not done just yet. Sicko making a little bit of noise in vent and he will not find anything. It's Malta. He was so close to the ace. Man went forward, got the info, got a kill, fell back progressively, went to site and then fought for his right for the 4K. So big pistol round coming in and a huge impact round. One that will certainly skyrocket Renegades into the lead. But let's see how the force buy goes here for ex-Direwolves. At the moment, you know, you wouldn't back them, but we do see a couple of interesting spawns coming through. Savage buying some door util 2 with the nade. Are we going to see that fast drop, though?
Well, there's the nade. The fast drop, definitely not.
No.
Renegades didn't really have anyone in position to actually stop it. Molly came down a bit late, but it doesn't really matter because they're just going to filter their way out from Hut. And Hats is having a ball of a time. Sicko with an MP5 as well. Gets himself a bit more cash, and so Renegades easily execute that round. 9-8.
Yeah. I think there was a flash. I heard it bang, but it might have missed the mark coming through Skylight, and Hats was able just to stand there and frag, which is, you know, what we were discussing earlier when Savage was in a similar position. So something not going right on the execute, and ex-Direwolves getting ripped off. Well, Hats getting rewarded, whichever way you want to look at it. And Renegades into the lead, 9-8.
Yeah, indeed, for the first time actually in this map. They haven't really upgraded any of their weapons. So we're looking to farm up as much as possible. Licky just takes that off of Alistair though, so a bit more work to do here for Renegades. And you know, I did say the anti-ecos have been pretty good so far this series. That I think has started to shift a little bit on Nuke. There have been some opportunities with the Deagles. Not this time though, because Malta is looking to farm up a bit of cash. He's feeling like he needs some more money. But it's actually going to cost him because Licky chases him down with that Deagle. 3 kills in this round from Licky. 2 more on offer if he can hit the heads and win the round for ex-Direwolves. It would be absolutely massive. Double peak should come through from Renegades.
Yeah.
And it does. Hats will clean it. Gets the FAMAS and the AUG tossed around. 10-8 Renegades. Yeah, you know, I mean, at least they get to upgrade their weapons. So not going into this one with SMGs. Could be worse.
Look, I need to point out, you love to see a good totem pole, the old top and bottom crossfire.
Yep.
It's underutilized. There's so many positions on so many maps where it can be used, but teams just, you know, try to go for more traditional crossfires. But trying to get a spray upwards and downwards is ridiculously hard. It doesn't seem that way, but it just is.
Would you say you're more of a top or a bottom, Mac?
Oh, definitely. I'm definitely on the bottom. I'm a booster.
Okay.
Usually, you know, help the boys get up there as
Good
expected. Yeah.
You won for the boys. You won for the team.
That's it.
Love to see it. We'll see the cross into Secret from ex-Direwolves. They've got their smokes down on outer. But Alistair's already there and waiting. Nice line with the AWP. Ooh, almost tried to find the timing, but Licky, what a great shot. And Alistair's going to be wondering, how on earth is Licky still alive?
I'll just hit him with that micro flick last second through the wall. So, Licky goes for the old Bogdan's Law. Pulling the AWP up instead. Smoke through to travel to default safely, and Renegades not quite dropping just yet. So, ex-Direwolves in a good position to win the round. Molly towards Mega as well, just buying some extra time, but one thrown right back. Okay. Renegades just posturing, getting ready for the retake.
They've got
all 4 players just about to bust through Mega, but Savage on the flank might have found the freest couple of kills of his life now.
Walter doesn't even know.
The comms just not coming through. They thought it was the man shooting from in front. They had no idea the bullets were from behind. And there you go. Savage mops up 3 from the flank. And ex-Direwolves are traversing into double digits if they win this round.
Oh, that would have been the perfect round to get some player cams.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the reactions? Oh, well. Maybe having a bit of a chat here, Renegades, because they're still not sure what's happened in that last round. Money's in an awkward spot as well. Hat's 7.5, Alistair 5.2. They're both okay. But Sicko, Malta, and Inns are quite poor by comparison, so I'm not sure if we'll see guns dropped here by Hats, or if we're going to go down to just pistols for Sicko, Malta, and Inns, and Hats and Alistair are just going to try and, you know, get it done with a couple of weapons themselves, or if it's going to be a save in the end here from Renegades and just to try and get the money in line, maybe a few pistols come out, courtesy of Hats. Looks like it'll be the latter. Deagle out for Alistair. Zeus for Sicko. Interested to see what he's got up his sleeve. More of a save.
Oh, Vent. He's going Vent with that bad boy. You better believe it. Sit there, wait for a Vent, drop in front of him, try to beat him, but it looks like there won't be any T's going his direction.
Yeah, he's actually ended up with ramp.
Okay.
He's actually solo holding ramp with a Zeus. So, we've seen it all. Renegades have actually put their forces in the right spot. They're creeping through these smokes at outer. It's covered off, though, by Hazza. Spam's coming through. Licky's also getting involved in the carnage. That's really what it is at this point in time. No shots, really, from Renegades. But ex-Direwolves will farm up a storm. They're going to equalize here at 10 apiece. And one more time, Mac, we're going to get a very close map.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the entertainment that you guys don't pay for, but get to watch. So the more the merrier, I say. Now,
is there a bit of ulterior motive going on right now?
I have absolutely no idea. Sub to ESL_CSGO if you want. It's September, 20% off. Insert more advertisement here. Either way, there's the equalizer, 10 to 10.
No, you should get a 10% commission for anyone that subs, Mac.
Oh, true. Well, it's 20% off. So if I just get that 20%, I feel like we're even. What do you reckon?
Seems good.
Yeah. Any primers, huh?
I don't think you're going to be making much off it, I'll be honest.
Yeah, true. Either way, Renegades have made a little off the round loss bonus, and now they're back on the buy. A couple of SMGs in play, though, and the drop doesn't come through. It's a dangerous position. Who's that? Licky just outside and tries to thread the needle, finds one, but Ince is there to trade, and he's expecting some more too. APOC misses the vent on the first attempt, but he'll make it down a second time. Molly's as well, so Ince won't follow straight away, but he's already managed to find the timing on the fading smoke. But now APOC's down here solo and has to do it all himself.
Yeah, Sicko's crept very far up on the catwalk. Alistair's locking down the trophy room, and Savage loses his life. So it's a numbers advantage right now for Renegades, but it's a bit chaotic right now. There's T's all over the place. They won't know exactly which positions are clear and dirty, and who knows where APOC is at this point. Hats does. Probably not the way that he'd like to have, and defuse is on, but it's Sicko 10-second defuse. Probably not what they want. Hazza with a big spam through. The smoke gets himself a couple. Alistair loses his life as well. It was such an awkward round for Renegades, wasn't it? It was really tough to figure out where all those T's were.
What a round. What a bloody round to put Direwolves in the lead. Now, the thing about this second half is statistically, ex-Direwolves, majority of their sides on the T side, about 65% or so. And the same for Renegades. They have a stronger CT side than their T side. So it's really a battle of brute force at the moment. Ian's, not going to be able to thread the needle this time. Sterling, fast boost onto the little box, and we'll spot the shoulder pushing.
Well, starting to get a bit worrisome at this point now for Renegades. Money's looking problematic. Ex-Direwolves are going to have a 2-round lead. They're starting to really find their feet on the T side as well. Another instance where we have to ask Renegades to dig deep if they want to finish this series off 3-1. Once again, they've got another deficit. Hasn't been for lack of trying from ex-Direwolves to win a map. Maybe Nuke is where it finally comes together for them to push us through to map 5. It's kind of what this series deserves. It's been really close on both the maps that we've seen so far, and Nuke doesn't look like it's going to be any different.
All Hats can be stuck in the corner with that molly nade straight on his noggin, and a couple of AK shots to back it up, and a very clean anti-eco from ex-Direwolves. Something that you don't see a whole lot in this kind of meta, but at the same time, we've seen a few really clean anti-ecos tonight. So, props to both teams for doing so. Usually here in Australia, it's the Deagles, the Pistols that reign supreme sometimes and just cause a whole lot of chaos, but haven't seen too many anti-ecos go the way of the Forces.
It's true. Warg's out for hats again. Alistair's got himself his hands on the AWP, but you do get the sense that this is a pretty critical round for Renegades. It starts to get a little bit more concerning if they drop this one 13-10, and you start to look towards 14-10, and then maybe Renegade starts to run out of rounds. APOC has found his way into the warehouse, but CTs seem to be relatively aware of that. Alistair is just watching the push down the stairs here. Licky, did he spot him? I'm not sure that he did.
I think he saw maybe like the
maybe the barrel of the gun or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Alistair definitely spotted Licky. I'm just asking if Licky spotted Alistair. Sicko. He's definitely seen Hazard. He's not going to round the corner to walk into Sterling's scope. There's a bit of info gathering happening on Outer, and it's perfectly timed by Inns. Headshot to the back of the head for APOC. And Inns will wait for the creep here from Licky. He's not going to be able to get the better of him, but at the very least, the numbers is favouring the CT side, and Hats with a perfect angle to play from with that scoped rifle. Picks up another one.
Oh, and it's all down to Sterling to make something happen here. Posted on the perfect line as Malta just jumps across the top, but doesn't want a hard commit, just swinging off the shot and just waiting for the rest of the boys to come and help him. So puts himself on a hook as the ultimate bait. And Sicko happily takes his prey from the trap. Now, there's the 11th for Renegades. Again, just keeping it as close as possible, going all the way towards the later parts of this map. Into round 24 we go. Renegades are all bought up. Same can be said for ex-Direwolves. But that round certainly made them take a hit to their economy.
Looks like you managed to eke out one sub, by the way, with your spiel. So maybe you have to put an extra 25 cents on your invoice. ESL's going to thank you for that one. Well, APOC's managed to get his way down the vent again. Alistair does seem to be aware of it, though. Good communication from Renegades. They're starting to come back into their own on this CT side. Licky with the wrap through warehouse.
That kill as well for Ali. Just alerts ex-Direwolves that, yes, he's down lower already. And that... Now they've got the info on like the position of both of the AWPs, but is the rifles they have to worry about. The crunch into lobby. 3 men looking to dominate some map control, but Sterling dominating right back. Now, you see Ali opt out for an AK instead. Doesn't want to have the double AWP for the retake. Licky worried about hell, but the timing's been found by Ali. Still some util as Sterling just jiggles across and finds the timing, but the flick is there. 19 HP Licky. They seem to be aware of his position, but he's fallen out of heaven and couldn't get the shot off. Counter-strafing just a millisecond too late. Ali sending a message as Renegades tie up the game.
I can't believe Alistair survived there.
Oh,
I cannot believe it. Renegades up to 12. It's a close round, a very, very close thing. Ex-Direwolves, maybe they start to feel like their chances of saving this map are slipping away once again. Renegades back onto their usual tricks. Money's not looking too bad on the CT side, even though they do go down to 2 guns. Investments will start to come through. Double AWP is out for Renegades as well. It's an interesting time to pull it out, but they must have a high degree of faith in it.
What are we going to see from ex-Direwolves? No outer smokes this time. Just looking for some lobby control and deciding where to go from here. A couple of boys up on T-roof. Looks like got some util lined up for maybe the uppers bust, and there's a good amount of util to use as well. Chain couple of flashes with a molly onto Hard, and Hatch going to drop his counter utility, but Malta fully blind just holds down the trigger, and it's more than enough. Hatch found himself another lineup, and it's up to Savage in a 1-on-4, but the man's out in the open, dodging flashes. Hatch, however, wasn't. Great communication, great coordination, and a solid hold from the A-site players for Renegades.
It's another really big one to win for Renegades. It's not going to do a huge amount to ex-Direwolves' economy. Their money's looking fine. They're starting to get that loss bonus rolling as well, so they'll be able to buy for the majority of these rounds, assuming, you know, they continue to lose. But Renegades just get that extra life, I suppose. That's what it feels like at this point in time. 13-12. One more round to play with. If things go wrong, it's not the end of the world yet. And they're only 3 away now from securing that spot at the ESL Pro League conference, which Renegades would feel is rightfully theirs at this point. Nice shot from Alistair through the smoke. There's just a very tiny gap, and it costs Apoc his life. It might cost ex-Direwolves the round here as well, because 4 on 5. I don't know what the conversion rate is like for ex-Direwolves on Nuke with that, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen this round. Inz and Sicko just find the timings. And these last couple of rounds have looked a little bit too easy for Renegades.
Oh, Savage. Nice raw readjustment of the crosshair, but that's all he'll be given in this round. And Renegades are 2 away from taking the big old W here in the grand final. Oh, it is a rough situation for ex-Direwolves. Have a look at the cash in the bank. It's all over the place. You got 2 of the boys already buying up AK armor. Not a whole lot for Util. They need to figure out what's going on and what they can do. They played out of their minds all game. They've done so damn much this series, but none of it so far has converted into a map. And if you're a fan of ex-Direwolves, you're hating life. So close yet so far, but doing a damn good job. I feel like it's a respectable effort, especially up against Renegades.
It really is.
At the same time, you want the dub.
Yeah, it's such a heartbreaking effort, isn't it? You know, if they go down here from this point, 16 anything, right? It'll be 16-13, 16-14, and then whatever the result is on this map. And every single time they were within a stone's throw of winning that map against Renegades, they had the map advantage, and that might be the only map that they actually end up walking out of this series with a win in. Into Annex quickly, though, is Licky. They've got either ideas, ex-Direwolves. Trades are coming through thick and fast for the CTs, but the same can be said for the Ts. Alistair finds his man, finds his mark onto Sterling, and settles us with a 1-on-2. Savage tries to slow things down a little bit. He has got the bomb in hand, but he can't really exit the site safely without Sicko probably spotting him, though the exit from Sicko looks like it's actually in a good spot. There we go. Well done from Sicko. Was behind the vent. Played it perfectly. Finds the off angle on 15-12. Renegades are now on match point, series point, ESL Pro League Season 15 conference point. It's a bit of a mouthful, Mac. They could have thought of an easier name to say, but that's where Renegades want to be. That's where they want to go. That's where they think they deserve to be. And that's, by rights, if they're the best team in ANZ, where they should be going. They're the #1 team. They should be the first qualification in the international berth. And they're 1 round away from doing that.
Well, Nades just toppling onto Apoc now, but he's got this MAC-10, and man's got to go fast, straight into Secret, not clearing the corners, trying to take a couple of shortcuts, but the trade comes through. With Hazard at medium range, Savage going to be able to thread the needle as well. Man studied textiles in high school. As he tries to make his way down towards the B site, Ali, he's out in the open, but given an opportunity to fall away. And smokes off single door, just waits for double to open. Licky making noise here at control, and good timing on the util, but it's going to be the re-aggression from Ali. Man's got so much confidence already, and it's a 2-on-4. Can ex-Direwolves bring this one back?
Alistair just continues to step up in the later stages of every single map. That AWP has been an utter terror. It's slipping away from ex-Direwolves. Sterling, a 1-on-3 with a Galil is what he requires. And you'd have to say against Renegades, that is too much to ask for at this point in time. 50 seconds to work with. He's got the bomb at the very least, but Alistair is way too good at the moment. Renegades will lock in their spot at ESL Pro League. They've got to the conference. Once again, they prove themselves to be the #1 team in the Oceanic region.